everybody, Sneaky Narcotic back at it again with another YouTube video. Today we're going to go over the last of the spoilers for the War of Sparks season. I am very excited. We have a lot to go over. They let them all out today. So let's go ahead and hop in it. But before we get started, I'd like to first ask you guys to like, share, and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, and I'd really appreciate it. So let's get into it, guys. Let's first start with Soul Diviner. 1 blue, 1 black creature zombie wizard. It is a rare. Tap it, remove a counter from an artifact, creature, land, or planeswalker you control, draw a land. As the Eternal's cold fingers tightened around his throat, Domri realized what kind of master he had rushed to serve. So this is this is pretty cool as far as artwork. As you can see, it shows how little kiddish Domri actually is, and that Domri, sad what happens to Domri. You saw some of it with the Elder Spell and things like that. But anyways, as far as the card itself, remove a counter from an artifact, creature, land, or planeswalker you control. I'm guessing the best use of this would be maybe creatures versus planeswalkers. As far as artifacts and lands, yeah, you could take counters off of like Treasure Map and Primal Amulet and those flip cards. You could, as far as lands, there's that spell that just came out with this that makes a 9/9 land that has haste, and I think that might be the best place to put that, I guess. I'm really not sure how they want to do this. But as far as creatures, yeah, that's pretty good. It's a draw engine and a counter heavy deck, but it's in blue and black, and that's the only thing that bugs me about this, is that you already got draw in blue and black, so why? Anyways, next card, Casualties of War. 2 generic, 2 black, 2 green, sorcery, rare. Choose 1 or more, destroy target artifact, destroy target creature, destroy target enchantment, destroy target land, destroy target planeswalker. This will probably see play in standard just because it hits multiple things at the same time. 1 or more, meaning you could choose all 5 if there's 5 targets available. Now, the thing about this is that it is kind of hefty, so I don't know. I don't know. It might be a sideboard type of idea, just to make sure that they're playing more than 2 of these. Even then, I guess that's a good trade. Maybe in the Explorer deck where you're able to get that amount of mana, this is really good. I don't know. As far as Commander, though, this definitely going in Commander. Land, enchantment, creature, and artifact. Sometimes you don't see planeswalkers I mean, most of the time you do, but sometimes you don't in Commander. And so this at least hits 4 out of 5. You always see artifact, creature, enchantment. Obviously, lands. You see lands. So this will be a cool card. I would say keep an eye out on that card. Finale of Revelation. So we're continuing with the finale cycle, and this is the blue one. X and 2 blue mana, sorcery, mythic, rare. Draw X cards. If X is 10 or more, instead shuffle your graveyard into your library, draw X cards, untap up to 5 lands, and you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Exile Finale of Revelation, and then it says Ugin saw the gem that connected Bolas to his meditation realm as the key to his brother's downfall. So that's pretty cool artwork of Ugin. Kind of like in the back. I don't really know where he is. I guess maybe the meditation realm. Anyways, as far as the card goes, draw X cards. It's pretty good, I guess. I mean, it's only 2 mana, and I think there was some others that were like 3 mana back in Amonkhet, I want to say. Like Flood of Recollection, Recollection, something like that. But anyways, being able to shuffle your graveyard into your library is good in a sense, but really the kicker of this is to be able to untap 5 lands, have some cards to play obviously now, and also your maximum hand size is good for the rest of the game. You don't even like have to, let's say for instance one of our favorite plays in our play group is Decree of Annihilation. The exile is everything, right? Well, you know, it would get rid of your Reliquary Tower, your spell book, your what is it, Nezahal, you know, those type of cards that say that effect. But because this sorcery says it in general, you would have no maximum hand size. Granted, Decree of Annihilation is not the best example. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. If they could handle like your Reliquary Tower, then this is something they can't handle unless they counter the spell. So anyways, Oath of Kaya, 1 generic, 1 white, 1 black. Legendary enchantment, rare. When Oath of Kaya enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. Whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control with 1 or more creatures, Oath of Kaya deals 2 damage to that player and you gain 2 life. So everyone gets what they truly deserve. I will keep watch. This is an okay oath. It is, you know, a good mana cost for what it does. It's basically initially can drain for 3 any target, deals 2 damage to that player and you gain 2 life. If you're playing planeswalkers, this is good. Opponent attacks a planeswalker you control. So I'm a player and not a judge, and so this is where I would have to have an understanding. I think attacks a planeswalker, so that means that if you have multiple planeswalker and they attack 2 of them, then this would double up. So everyone gets what they truly deserve. I will keep watch. I think it's kind of cool that Kaya, she went from like literally being the worst to joining the Gatewatch. It just keeps it interesting. She's going to stay Orzhov, and I guess she's going to stay on Ravnica, but at the same time, she is joining the Gatewatch and going to go on shenanigans with whatever evil bad guy shows up next. Because, spoiler alert, they take Nicol Bolas down, and I will show you the spoilers to prove it. Coming up. Bioessence Hydra. 3 generic, 1 green, 1 blue. Creature, Hydra, mutant. It is a rare. It has trample. Bioessence Hydra enters the battlefield at +1/+1 counter on it for each loyalty counter on planeswalkers you control. Whenever 1 or more loyalty counters are put on planeswalkers you control, put that many +1/+1 counters on Bioessence Hydra. It starts off as a 4/4 for 5. So not the best. It is a 4/4 trampler at least, but it could start off better if you already have, I could see like a 3-drop planeswalker, 4-drop planeswalker into Bioessence Hydra. So that could definitely cause it to have better power and toughness when it comes out. The +1/+1 counters for each loyalty is pretty good. The thing is that it's going to be better in Commander if you're playing like 5-color Super Friends or something like that. As far as in Standard, a lot of times with the ones that the planeswalkers we're going to be using in this current Standard, it's going to be negatives only. Like, they're only going to have like -1, -2. They're not going to have positive abilities. And so that's why I don't think this will really see play in Standard, but who knows. Finale of Eternity. Pay X mana +2 black, sorcery, mythic rare, destroy up to 3 target creatures with toughness X or less. If X is 10 or more, return all creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. When you rule by fear, your greatest weakness is one who's no longer afraid. So the thing with these Finale of Eternity cards is that you gotta imagine there has to be some sort of rampage, and black's not known for ramping. Again, in Commander, you're going to see this card. This card is going to be awesome in Commander. Return all creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. We already, in my play group, we see Glorious Rebirth a lot from my buddy. And, of course, I played 2 different Graveyards Matter deck, including a Sultai Muldrotha and a Lord Windgrace Jund deck. So, this card could see really good play. Love the artwork. It's Liliana basically finishing off Nicol Bolas, and being able to destroy 3 creatures, then get all your creatures. Like, in late game, this is just going to get better over time. Now, you'd have to play this in some sort of Golgari type of play, in my opinion, because green has all the ramp. So anyways, Sultai would be nice too, because there's some rampage in Sultai right now. Anyways, let's continue on. Storm the Citadel. 4 generic, 1 green. Sorcery uncommon. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain whenever this creature does combat damage to a player or a planeswalker. Destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. If we die, we die, but we cannot let him win. A Johnny Goldman. So it's just a beef spell that has a kind of a perk. Like, it... Destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. It's a whatever card to me. I don't think it was really see play. I don't think there's a lot of artifacts and enchantments per se that are just going to make this meta awesome. Narset's Reversal. Now, like, I'd like to spend a good minute on Narset's Reversal. 2 blue, instant, rare. Copy target instant or sorcery spell, then return it to its owner's hand. You may choose new targets for the copy. In the disarray of battle, an enemy attacks may be your most convenient weapon. Narset. Now, the reason I want to talk about this card is that I have a idea of an amazing combo that I just think Wizards hasn't thought of. Otherwise, they'd probably retcon this day one. They'd probably take this out of the game, is what I mean to say. And that is that you could have a Gutter Snipe down. Like, Gutter Snipe says that when we could even say, like, Electrostatic Field. Basically, whenever you play a spell, an instant or sorcery, then you deal damage to your opponent's life points. And so you place, like, Shock, and then you Narset's Reversal. But you have another copy of Narset's Reversal. I wish I had, like, a way of marking this. So, okay. Let's imagine Storm the Citadel is one of the Narset's reversals, right? So, the first Narset reversal targets the Shock. Well, this Narset reversal targets this one, but then it makes a copy of that spell that targets the original second. Then that copy will make a copy that targets the original, and that's how the stack keeps on continuing. And then you eventually let it resolve, and then you have Gutter Snipe deal like 1,000,000 damage. And that can happen on turn 3. 4, I want to say, because Gutter Snipe comes out for 3 mana. So, yeah, that could happen on turn 4. That could be a turn 4 win condition. It's a very niche thing to happen. You would have to have 2 Narset's Reversals plus a Gutter Snipe on the battlefield surviving. And that's easier said than done. So, but it is something to think about, you know. Speaking of Narset, Parter of Veils, 1 generic, 2 blue mana, legendary planeswalker Narset. She is an uncommon. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Love the static ability. -2, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So, I kind of like that she lets us peek for 4. She has 3 mana, she comes out for 5 loyalty, and she has a -2 that you can do twice. So I don't know if I really see this in standard, but I do see this happening in Commander as a kind of a way to slow down the game, because in Commander you draw a lot of cards. Like, every single one of my decks has a way to draw more cards per turn. Making them only be able to draw 1 card each turn is ridiculous. Now, in Standard, you can do this too, but it just isn't always worth it, I would say. It's not worth the slot. The only decks I know for a fact that do this is, like, Esper Control and Mono Blue Tempo, and there's a couple of, like, control decks and maybe some aggro decks that are, like, drawing multiple cards per turn. But a lot of times you're playing against, like, Deadly Discovery and Mono Red. It's not drawing cards, but they are doing the what's it called, light up the stage shenanigans. So that's the type of things I'm thinking about with Narset. Sarkhan's Catharsis, love the artwork. 2 dragon hands just laying fire down. 4 generic, 1 red, instant common. Sarkhan's Catharsis deals 5 damage to target player or planeswalker. You once brought havoc to my home and ruined my mind. I'm here to return the favor, Bolas. It's an okay card for a common dealing 5 damage for 5 to target player or planeswalker. I guess is okay. It's an instant speed, so that's the other good thing to think about this. 5 damage is a lot, and a lot of planeswalkers die at 5. Like, look at Narset. Narset dies at 5, so I guess that's fine. I don't know if it'll see play, to be honest. Anyways, Finale of Glory, a fantastic card. I wanna spend a minute on this card too. Pay X, 2 white, sorcery, mythic rare, create X 2/2 white soldier creature tokens with vigilance. If X is 10 or more, also create X 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance. The sky boiled over the Citadel, dire and dark, then the angels brought the dawn. So what I find interesting about this card is that they say also create ... if it's 10 or more. Okay, so for like 12 mana, you bring out 10 2/2s and 10 4/4s at the same time. That's ridiculous, honestly. It reminds me of like Martial Q. If you remember that card, I think you make it's a good number of soldier tokens, and then you destroy all other creatures if Martial Q's X values more than 10, I want to say. But anyways, this is a really good card, and I can imagine I'll see this in Standard somehow. We'll have to find out how. I think that's going to be paired with green somehow. I don't know. We'll see. Finale of Devastation will definitely see play in Standard. Pay X and 2 green, sorcery, mythic rare. Search your library and or graveyard for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. If X is 10 or more, creatures you control get +X/+X and gain haste until end of turn. Some spells sing a quiet tune, others roar. So this is an amazing card. Like, honestly, this is ridiculous. It tutors up a creature out of your library and or graveyard, puts it on the battlefield, gives it haste and +X/+X if X is 10 or more. Even if X isn't 10 or more, it still searches for a creature you want out of your graveyard or library. Now, granted, this is at sorcery speed. It doesn't have interrupt, which nothing's had interrupt in a while, but I do want to mention that. Because if you target something in your graveyard, then there's a chance that they can like exile your graveyard before you get it, so it would be a waste of a spell. Granted, if X is 10 or more, you still get your +X/+X and gain haste, so your creatures are still cool, I guess. But you better have some trampoline creatures, because otherwise this might be a waste. Anyways. Despark, 1 white, 1 black. Ooh, that makes sense. It's a Bantu and Oketra up there if you don't know that. Instant, uncommon, exile target permanent with converted mana cost 4 or greater. Liliana whispered to whatever consciousness Oketra and Bantu had left. You are the gods. He's the usurper. You know what to do. Ooh, that's so cool. Nicol Bolas got desparked again. I think it's again. Yeah, I believe it's again. And then Oketra and Bantu. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I love the artwork. I love the whole flavor text and everything. Now, as far as the card goes, a white-black instant that exiles is pretty good, but it's converted mana cost 4 or greater, and that only hits your opponent's top end things, and so that might not even hit something. Like, for instance, in Mono White Assault and Mono Blue Tempo, excuse me, that hits nothing. So it's maybe a sideboard type of card, but I don't really see that in Standard. In in your main board. Anyways. Prison Realm. 2 generic, 1 white. Enchantment, uncommon. When Prison Realm enters the battlefield, exile target creature and/or planeswalker, target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until Prison Realm leaves the battlefield. When Prison Realm enters the battlefield, scry 1. After millennia to craft victory, Bolas had eternity to contemplate defeat. That's kind of cool. So, I guess he got trapped in his meditation realm after getting desparked, so he can't even leave his meditation realm. Anyways, I'm still waiting to see what the main story is. All I know is that he lost. As far as the card, being able to exile creature or planeswalker, that's fine. I mean, this stays on the battlefield, but it's also that scry one that makes it really good. So, it's an okay card. It's spot removal that could potentially come back to bite you in the butt, to be honest. So, anyways, command the Dreadhorde. 4 generic, 2 black. Sorcery, rare. Choose any number of target creatures, indoor planeswalker cards, and graveyards. Command the Dreadhorde deals damage to you equal to the total converted mana cost of those cards. Put them onto the battlefield under your control. Liliana sees the reins of Bolas's vast army, gritting her teeth behind the chain veil. So, this could potentially be a cool card. If you have a lot of life, this really doesn't matter. But being able to just get, and they come right onto the battlefield, right? Put them right onto the battlefield, and you can have, like, I mean, this is on turn 6, so if you keep on killing their creatures and crap, yeah, this could be really it. I could see this in Esper Control. I could really see this in Esper Control. Price of Betrayal. 1 black, sorcery, uncommon. Remove up to 5 counters from target artifact, creature, planeswalker, or opponent. What is that? Remove up to 5 counters from an opponent. I don't know as much about Magic the Gathering, but the only really counter I know, other than, like, energy counter, maybe? But that doesn't technically count, I think. Anyways, maybe you can use this in a diplomatic way to get rid of poison counters. But anyways, the moment Liliana defied Nicol Bolas, her contract was broken, her life was forfeit, but she was free to choose her fate, and she decided it was worth the price. That's pretty cool. Again, 5 counters from a planeswalker is ridiculous. If your creature is made up of only 5 counters, it's ridiculous. Again, with this target artifact, I don't know how I feel about artifacts, but this is a potential kill planeswalker at sorcerer speed for 1 black mana. So I again will think this will be in the sideboard somehow. Charity Extractor. 3 generic, 1 black, creature, human, knight. It is a common. Lifelink. War or no war, your donations are due, as always. Just like the Orzhov. Anyways, it is a 1/5 lifelinker for 4 mana, and I think that's really good in Sealed. You'll probably see this played a lot because it's a good defender, and just sitting there and then gaining you life, it's not that bad. Beef it some, and it still is it will turn into an awesome card. If you beef it just to like a 3/5 somehow. Tithebearer Giant. 5 generic, 1 black, creature, giant, warrior. It is a common. When Tithebearer Giant enters the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So Dusk Legion Zealot. I've always said full war chest win wars, but I didn't mean by bashing enemy skulls with them. Tessa. It will see play in standard, in Sealed as a, like, top end. Vampire Opportunist. Now, this is a funny card. 1 generic, 1 black, creature, vampire, common. 6 mana, or 6 generic mana and a black. Each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. I think I cracked a Fang. That's hilarious. That's cute. It's just a common dump. Duskmantle Operative, 1 generic, 1 black. Creature human rogue. It is a common. Duskmantle Operative can't be blocked by creatures with power 4 or greater. Gideon eyed the Dimir emissary warily. Could your agent slip inside Bolas' Citadel? The figure met his gaze with icy resolve. We already have. I like the flavor text on this, that the Dimir can just easily go into the Citadel. But as far as this card, it's a 2/2 that can just go through through cards that have power 4 or greater. So it's again another common dump. Trusted Pegasus, 2 generic, 1 white. Creature Pegasus, common. Flying. Whenever Trusted Pegasus attacks, target attacking creature without flying gains flying until end of turn. I think we've already seen this on another Pegasus type of card, but anyways, would you give your life to save this world? Gideon murmured. The Pegasus snorted and spread wide its mighty wings. Okay. Anyways, it's cool for the story. He rides this Pegasus for a minute, up until getting to the Citadel, and then I think Catharsis shoots the Pegasus. Rubblebelt Rioters. 1 generic, 1 red, 1 green. Creature human Berserker. Ooh, cool subclass. It is an uncommon with haste. Whenever Rubblebelt Rioters attack, it gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. If the system is broken, break the system. Dominate raid. Okay. It is a 0/4. I don't think this will see play. I don't. Gideon's Company, 3 generic, 1 white. Creature human soldier. It is a uncommon. Whenever you gain life, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Gideon's Company. God, oh, not this card. 3 generic, 1 white. Put a loyalty counter on target Gideon Planeswalker for the Legion for Ravnica, and it is a 3/3. So it's an Ajani's Pride Mate that's even worse. And I don't like it. God, I really hope we don't see this played. Gideon's Battlecry, 2 generic and 2 white. Sorcery, rare. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. You may search your library and or graveyard for a card named Gideon the Oathsworn. Reveal it and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. Break their formation, thin their ranks. I'm right behind you. So this is probably from the Gideon's, either the Gideon's spellbook or the Gideon. I don't think it's a spellbook because of the symbol, but it's probably from the Gideon Planeswalker deck. Desperate Lunge, 1 generic, 1 white. This is funny. Instant common. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains flying until end of turn. You gain 2 life. That's a good amount for what it is. Ravnica held his breath as the hero. Ravnica held its breath as the hero of the Resistance, their last hope, flew through the sky, his dark sword ready to strike a god. So yeah, Gideon attempts to hit Nicol Bolas with the Dark Blade Reforged. Ironclad Krovod, 3 generic, 1 white. Creature beast. It is a common. We need to block the exits from the plaza. What's big, heavy, and available? Gideon Jorah, and it is a 2/5. Again, probably a top end for sealed. Enforcer Griffin, 4 generic, 1 white. Creature Griffin, common, flying. A company of infantry is trapped behind the lines. We need to strike hard and fast to face them, or the casualties will be horrific. Send the Griffins. Tajik, 3 generic. 3/4. 3 power, 4 toughness. Jeez, how hard was that? Anyways, it is an Enforcer Griffin. It will see play in sealed. Again, not too many of these. Charmed Stray, 1 white. Creature cat, common, lifelink. When Charmed Stray enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control, named Charmed Stray. There's something peculiar about the cats today. Janoctin Street Tinker, and it is a 1/1. So this card feels like it's missing something. Like, you can have as many Charmed Strays in your library as you want. Other than that, like, that's a pretty cool ability. But I just, again, I wish this was like the last one to be like this was Persistent Petitioner. I feel like they left that out just so they could put the dumb flavor text on it. Battlefield Promotion, 1 generic, 1 white. Instant common. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature that creature gains first strike until end of turn. You gain 2 life. Again, a good amount for a combat trick. Welcome to the Legion. You saved a district. Now let's go save the world. Hey, cool. Snarespinner. 1 generic, 1 green. Creature spider. Common. Reach. Whenever Snarespinner blocks a creature with flying, Snarespinner gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Let's lure the drakes to the webs over the Semok stand. Keep the spiders content. Aurelia. It's a 1/3. Aurelia. I'm trying to remember the name Aurelia, but I can't right now. Kraul Stinger. I'm just trying to get through all these commons. That's why I'm going fast. Kraul Stinger. 2 generic, 1 green creature. Insect assassin. Ooh, that's interesting. It is a common. It has death touch, and it is a 2/2. He listens to the sound of battle flittering down from above, waiting for silence, waiting for his time to claim the streets. That's pretty cool. Bleeding Edge. 1 generic, 2 black sorcery uncommon. Up to 1 target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Amass 2. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on the army you control. If you don't control one, create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token first. Aboreal Grazer. 1 green creature beast common. Reach. When Aboreal Grazer enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. We fight to stop a tyrant, but we also fight for the gentle creatures who have no concept of what befalls their world. Vivian Reed. New Horizons. I swore this card was something else when I swore this card was something else. Anyways, New Horizons. 2 generic, 1 green. Enchantment Aura. It is a common enchant land. When New Horizon enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Enchanted land has add 2 mana of any color. Of any one color, as its tap ability. Elite Guildmage. 2 generic, 1 white, 1 blue creature, human wizard. It is an uncommon flying. When Elite Guildmage enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life and draw a card. It is a 2/3. Be careful, you'll have more than Dovin to contend with if you hope to breach new prov. Lavinia to Chandra Nalar. I actually like this card in Azorius because first off, it's flying. It's 2/3 for flying, which is good. But you also gain 3 life and draw cards. That's pretty cool too. It's Dovin's Acuity, but on a creature. So that's pretty cool to me. Heartwarming Redemption. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is the part where I get to tell you that Gideon died. 2 generic, 1 red, 1 white, instant uncommon. Discard all the cards in your hand and draw that many cards +1. You gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand. Kytheon, also known as Gideon Jorah, had known war every day of his life. Now he finally knew peace. Aww. And that's all his brothers and I guess a sister that died due to him. Return to Nature. 1 generic, 1 green, instant uncommon. Instant common. Choose 1. Destroy target artifact. Destroy target enchantment. Exile target card from a graveyard. Yes, nature is strong. You don't see little buildings sprouting out trees. Amara. Anyways. Theater Strix. 1 generic, 1 blue creature bird. Common. Flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Theater Strix gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Courier Owls join the fray, attacking Dreadhorde with a viciousness usually reserved for male thieves. And it is a 1/2. It's an okay card. Not really. Gateway Plaza. So this is just a reprint of Gateway Plaza, but it's really cool. I like the reprint. So Gateway Plaza enters the battlefield tapped. When Gateway Plaza enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you pay 1 generic mana. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color. It is also a gate land. Guild leaders focus their magic on the portal scar, where the chamber perished. A Parton could be reborn. A Parton? Anyway. A Paran could be reborn. Okay. I see what that says. Prismite. 2 generic artifact creature golem. It is a common. 2 generic mana. Add 1 mana of any color. If you didn't budge when the portal opened, nor when the ancient gods emerged, it came to life only when all 10 guilds came together to face a common threat, and it is a 2/1. Mana Geode. 3 generic artifact common. When Mana Geode enters the battlefield, scry 1. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. I don't care if it's an all-powerful relic or a street vendor lucky charm. If it brings you courage, wear it. Healy Ray. Guild Globe, 2 generic artifact, common. When Guild Globe enters the battlefield, draw a card. 2 generic and tap it to sacrifice Guild Globe. Add 2 mana of any of different colors. Hopefully Ravnica will prove harder to break card. Okay, so sorry about that. I had to add these last 2 cards because I realized I didn't have them. Tyrant Scorn, 1 blue, 1 black, instant, uncommon. Choose 1. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. Return target creature to its owner's hand. The hero with the magic sword slays the dragon. Not this time. Nicol Bolas. So, as you can see, after his mighty leap, he doesn't make it. He gets absolutely smacked to the ground, and this happens. Gideon's Sacrifice, 1 white mana, instant common. Choose a creature or planeswalker you control. All damage that would be dealt this turn to you and permanents you control is dealt to the chosen permanent instead, if it's still in the battlefield. To Liliana's surprise, the cost of betraying Bolas did not fall on her. So you go from... I'm sorry. I know I have to go back here. Where are you? Where are you? Ah, here it is. Price of Betrayal. So she knew that when she commanded the Dreadhorde to attack Nicol Bolas, that she would have to pay the price, or that her life was at least forfeit. But she didn't realize that Gideon, being a Hieromancer, can take that away from her. And for those that don't know what Hieromancer is, they prevent things. They kind of like shield mages or Hieromancers, and as Gideon and sometimes Dovin does, they prevent damage. And so Gideon took all the damage that was being dealt to her life force, or life, I guess. This isn't... Anyways, Gideon took all that damage for her. And so that's how he died. He took her contract's toll, and it's such a nice. It's not nice. It's such an interesting ending, I should say. So I was talking to Zach, and Zach, as y'all all know who follow me, me and Zach have conversations about Magic the Gathering all the time, lore, cards, everything. And something that I was trying to mention to him the other day is that Gideon's always been there for Liliana. Gideon went to help fight Belzenlock when all the other planeswalkers wanted to go do something else. Nissa broke her bond. Jace, I forget what Jace was doing on Dominaria. Anyways, Jace didn't help, and Chandra went off to with Karn to go find Jaya Ballard. Well, Gideon actually went with Liliana, and that's how he ended up with the Black Blade Reforged, is because it was in Belzenlock's new Cabal Keep Stronghold type thing. And so it's interesting that, we see Liliana only cared about herself until the very end. If you watched the trailer, you saw that she really had a change of heart, and then Gideon has always been there for her, as an emotional support and the only real person in the Gatewatch that cared. And so now he's gone. And it's interesting to see what happens with the Gatewatch after this. Kaya joined it, and I'm surprised we didn't see Raul join it, honestly, because I was expecting that before Kaya. But anyways, it's interesting to see where Magic takes this. We have somebody that has been in Magic the Gathering for a long time. Gideon's been there through thick and thin, joined the Gatewatch, and took on numerous different threats. Granted, I never liked his card designs. It's not that I didn't like him, I just never liked his card designs. But it's interesting to see where we go from here. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, do all the usual YouTube stuff. And this is Sneaky Narcotic, signing off.